Bryan, what do you make of the build-up to this fight? 1 second it seems like he's praising you as a tough opponent. The next thing he's tearing you down, talking trash. What do you make of the whole build-up here?
You know, I really believe that's a reflection of his you know, his inner emotions. 1 minute he feels himself being you know, scared, intimidated. You know, thinking in his head, man, did I bite off more than I could chew? You know, I thought I got a safe fight. You know, I thought a guy who was going to just wrestle and grapple me until he starts digging deeper and finds out about my past and the things people don't know about, like fighting NHB, no hold barred, bare knuckle gloves. And when you know somebody's willing to go through that, it kind of changes things a little bit. So I think him with his outbursts of, you know, whatever, shit talking, whatever you want to call it, I think that's his own insecurities trying to pump himself up. You know what I mean? He feels himself slipping a little bit, saying he's scared to stand in the pocket. You can clearly see the guy's afraid to get punched. Not taking away that he's not an athlete. He's clearly an athlete. He's 4 in the world for a reason. But I don't think the guy's a fighter in his heart. I think he's a good athlete. And I think he knows that. And I think he's realizing this is going to be a fight and not just a grappling wrestling match. And, you know, that's the result of him trying to pump himself up.
You touched on a little bit saying he's a good athlete, but what do you make of his game? I mean, he does have a lot of hype behind him right now. There does seem to be some similarities in your games. I mean, do you have respect for what he brings to the table, or do you feel like he's overmatched too?
No, absolutely have respect. I mean, the guy's number 4, you know. Do I think he's really, truly number 4? No, but do I think he's top 10 in the world? Absolutely. I mean, the guy's finishing people. You know, he's 4-0 in the UFC, and just to win a fight in the UFC is absolutely difficult. You know, I mean, they're the pinnacle of the sport. So not only to make it here is a huge accomplishment, but to win in the UFC and to win 4 in a row is huge. So I'm not sleeping on the guy at all. I believe he has, you know, solid wrestling. He has, for the years that he's been in the sport, I feel like he's got a good game. He's got a good head start for the time that he's put in. But comparatively to myself, I've been in the game a lot longer. We have a similar style as far as the grappling and wrestling goes, and I've just been around a lot longer. You know, I've been ahead of the game for our era now, and I have 13 years experience on him, and you know, he's been, you know, doing this for 4 or 5 years. So yeah, I think I just have more experience, and I'm just more well-rounded. I'm willing to take a punch, to give one, and when I fought Mitch Gagnon, I broke out 3 of my teeth, bleeding everywhere. I didn't even faze me. Most people didn't even know. So I don't care about getting punched, hit. That doesn't bother me at all. Like I enjoy that. I enjoy the fight. That's why I do it. And I can't wait until Sunday. I can put my hands on him and show him what a real fight's.
I did want to ask you. I mean, obviously, as a coach and a boyfriend, it meant a lot for you to meet you to win the title. But what about as a fighter? Has it done anything different having a UFC champion around?
Absolutely. I mean, have anybody in your life who's successful in, I believe, any aspect of life, whether it's even real estate at all, they exude, you know, aura around them of positivity, you know, just everything. Positivity, drive. You can feel those emotions. You can feel, you can just feel it. You know what I mean? And you know, living with Misha, coaching her, you know, it's gave me a ton of inspiration of just seeing what she's went through, what we both went through, you know, how she lost to Rousey twice. She didn't give up. She comes back, she battles, and, you know, she does a huge upset in submitting Holly Holm, who just brutally knocked out Ronda Rousey. So that shows me that, hey, man, the sport, anything can happen, as long as you keep your mind and your heart right and you keep driving and you put that work ethic in, and most importantly, you believe in yourself, anything's achievable. So, you know, that's pumped me up and motivated me, and man, I couldn't be in a better position right now.
Talk about the interaction with the fan though, like how did you decide to do like that train with the little fan up there?
You know, I just, first of all, you know, I love animals, I love kids, I love, you know, I noticed he is disabled, little girls, you know, Misha, I want to empower people that, you know, that people don't think that can do this. You know, little kids, they can train mixed martial arts. It's not this brutal sport where guys are trying to kill each other. We're humble, respectful, we're educated. You know, I want to get kids involved. I want to get little girls involved. You know, I just want to show that this sport is for everybody. It's not just for, you know, knuckleheads. The sport can be a family sport, even though it may seem at first a little brutal and ruthless, but once you learn the martial arts aspect side of it, you'll see the genuine, you know, the genuine sport as it is.
There's been a pretty big marketing push for this fight, but it seems like it's pretty much all about him. Has that bothered you at all?
No, I mean, I honestly didn't think it was all about him. Besides, he makes it all about him. You know, so I feel like I've done a lot of fair share of my, you know, media and stuff. I know Fight Pass, they just released an awesome interview, you know, that I did with them, kind of giving some backstory. I went in the UFC offices several times, and I did a lot of media stuff. So, you know, from my perspective, I'm happy. You know, I don't feel like it was all about him. Maybe I'm just trying to be positive, but ultimately it comes down to Sunday night I'm going to get my hand raised, and then everything's going to get flipped on then. So I've been the underdog, I think, almost every single fight I've been in the UFC, and I keep winning. So eventually people are going to stop doubting me, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm going to force to be reckoned with, and everything's going to come to fruition, and they're going to have to accept me.
Now, he's talked about a win will put him at the #1 contender spot, or possible fight with Dillashaw or Sunside with her. Where does a win for you put you in this division?
I absolutely think a win puts me right up for a title shot. I mean, you know, Aljamain's ranked 4th in the world, with the only guys that are ranked above him have already fought for the title and is fighting for the title. So right now, as it stands, he's the highest ranked guy that hasn't fought for the belt already. They need some new blood, new talent up there. After I finish Aljamain Sterling on Sunday, I believe I will be the #1 contender. You have Faber already fighting the title. Dillashaw was already the champ. Barrow's gone. Those are the only guys that are above him. It goes Barrow, Faber, Dillashaw, the champ. Barrow's gone. He's not going to make 35 no more. So really, it's Faber and Dillashaw. You know, so Faber's already fighting for the title. Dillashaw's already got it. I believe that Dillashaw, even though it was a really close fight, I believe just from the timeout, I think he should maybe fight one more fight. And I think that leaves me, after I beat Aljamain, the obvious fight for the world title.
You also mentioned, you keep mentioning when you finish him. What do you see in his game that allows you to finish him on Sunday night?
I see in his game that he's just not a fighter, regardless of how athletic he is, regardless of, you know, whatever he has skill set. I can't think when it comes down to somebody who has the same equal skill set and push back, it's going to be who has the bigger heart, who has the bigger drive, and who's willing to take shots and punches and grind through and weather the storm and do whatever it takes to possibly win. And I know I'm that guy. And I'm not saying I have better, you know, I think I do have better skill set, but when it comes down to it, the difference I believe in the fight is going to be just, you know, let's say our skill set's equal, it's going to be sheer will and who wants it more and who has more heart. And I know I'm that guy. I know I have more heart than, you know, anybody in the division. So that's what I know in my heart. And I'm ready to show that and display and go out on my shield, die trying.
We heard you kind of breaking down, you know, where everybody stands. So after you win, do you start thinking as much about like, hey, now I hope Dillashaw loses so it's guaranteed, or do you even follow it that closely to say like, you know, where everybody's falling and hoping other people lose and all that?
No, absolutely, man. I never hope for someone else to lose so I could gain success off of that. I'm not that type of person. I'm like, oh man, I hope this guy loses so I can benefit from it. I'm not a negative type person. I wish the best for Dillashaw. We're an Ultimate Fighter together. I've seen that kid come up from first starting MMA to a world title, which is an inspiration in itself. So I don't wish anything bad on him. He's a great guy. All I wish for myself is to work hard to show up, and I want to earn it on myself. I don't want to earn it because someone else lost. If the UFC deems me, you know, not to give me a title shot, whatever. I know there's politics in the sport, and I may necessarily not play the game, you know, as well as Conor McGregor. It's not my style, but I will earn it off the sweat off my back.
Right. What about Thomas and Cody? Shouldn't you be the main event? So,
you know, that goes back to the thing saying, you know, there's a lot of politics in the sport. You know, should I say I'm the main event? A lot of people, you know, say, you know, obviously we're a higher ranked profile fight, so a lot of people think that we should be. But the UFC is a marketing genius. They brought the sport where it is today for a reason. They know what they're doing, and I think they're really trying to push Fight Pass, and although at first it may be seen like, oh man, you're on the very prelims of the card, not even on FS1, I think that, you know, they're trying to build Fight Pass. Anderson Silva, Michael Bisping, 2 huge stars, they both fought on it. So I think, in a way, you know, I think it's kind of an honor to fight on the Fight Pass to get built up as the main event. We got a lot of extra media coverage there. So it's not my position to say, you know, I feel I should be here, I feel I shouldn't be there. Obviously, it'd be nice to be on a poster and to have my family come into town and see a giant billboard. That's pretty cool. But like I said, I'm going to earn a title shot off the sweat off my back. I don't care where I'm on the card. I don't care if I have to fight, you know, Dominic Cruz or Faber or whoever on the prelims for the world title. I don't care. I want the strap. I want the world title. I don't care if we fight in a barn.
Bryan, what are your thoughts, particularly on the grappling aspect of this matchup? I mean, Sterling's got a lot of credit up to this point, but do you feel like you're the man that's made to pressure him in a way he hasn't necessarily been pressured before?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at all of his fights that have been in the UFC, he's fought all strikers. He fought Cody Gibson, who is the only wrestler that you know, he's fought, and Gibson's not known for having a submission game, really. He's basically a tall, lanky striker, and he gave Aljamain a lot of troubles. You know, I mean, I think Gibson was winning the fight. Lack of experience let Cody give that fight away, I think. A couple times he had a dominant position, and he tried to go for a guillotine, gave up top position, and lost the 3rd round. I think Gibson could have easily won that fight, and he was the only wrestler that Aljamain's fought. The other fights were purely Muay Thai strikers with basic, I'm not saying that they're not good, their striking's phenomenal, and they have good defensive jiu-jitsu, but not the style that myself or Aljamain brings with that wrestling, catch wrestling style, not just jiu-jitsu, not wrestling. We really blend the catch wrestling style, and I don't know if that's what he calls it, but to me, that's the style, is catch wrestling. And I think that's why he was able to expose their weaknesses. He's able to take them down and expose their weaknesses where he was strong. And I absolutely think I'm the person that will push Aljamain either to new heights, whether whatever happens. I believe my grappling and MMA wrestling is higher than his. I have to. I've been doing this longer, but. I think I'm going to be an interesting equation for him. I have 42 MMA fights. I fought everybody. I fought strikers, wrestlers, grapplers. I fought every type of fight there is, and even in the UFC, I fought a wide variety of different types of athletes. And so I think I'm just more well-rounded with the experience to deal with the adversity that comes up throughout the fight.